अजं निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम।
गुणातीतमानं चिदानन्दरूपं चिदाभासकं सर्वगं ज्ञानगम्यं मुनिध्येयमाकाशरूपं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम।
जगत्कारणं कारणज्ञानरूपं सुरादिं सुखादिं गुणेशं गणेशं जगद्व्यापिनं विश्ववन्द्यं सुरेशं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम।
रजोयोगतो ब्रह्मरूपं श्रुतिज्ञं सदा कार्यसक्तं हृदा चिन्त्यरूपं जगत्कारणं सर्वविद्यानिदानं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं नतास्मः।
अजं निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम।
तमोयोगिनं रुद्ररूपं त्रिनेत्रं जगद्धारकं तारकं ज्ञानहेतुम् अनेकागमै स्वं जनं बोधयन्तं सदा सर्वरूपं गणेशं नमामः।
अजं निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम।
जनाज्ञानहारं त्रयीवेदसारं परब्रह्मसारं मुनिज्ञानकारं विदुरे विकारं सदा ब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं नमामः।
निजैरोषधि सर्पयन्तं करादिरसुरौघ्नकलाभिः सुधास्राविणीभिः दिनेशांशु सन्तापहारं द्विजेशं शशाङ्कस्वरूपं गणेशं नमामः।
अजं निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम।
सत्स्वरूपं जगद्धेतुरूपं सदा विश्वरूपं गणेशं नतास्मः।
त्वदीये मनस्तापयेदं धियुग्मे जनो विघ्नसङ्घातपीडां नदेत न सत्सूर्यबिम्बे विशाले स्थितोऽयं जनो ध्वान्तपीडा भजेम
Hari Om, my name is Anirudh.
Hari Om, my name is Anjana, and we would like to welcome you to our 2020 Bala Vihar graduation ceremony. To begin this auspicious occasion, Swamiji will be leading our graduates through the Saraswati Puja. Saraswati Devi is the goddess of knowledge, and we worship her for fluidity in speech and thought.
Goddess of knowledge on our graduates and the families will invoke her blessings through this puja, and will do a short puja, and all of you are there in your room or in your home, and you can do the puja there. Now we'll start with 3 times Om, then Sahana Bhavatu, then we'll start the puja. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Subham karotu kalyanam arogyam dhana sampadah satrabuddhi vinasaya deepa jyote namostute. Suklam varadharam vishnum sasivarnam chaturbhujam prasanna vadanam dhyayet sarva vignopasantaye. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheswaraha Gurureva Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vitvaram. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Haraye Paramatmane Pranatah Kleshanashaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Sarvamangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadike Saranye Trambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Jaya Narayani Namostute. Now we'll do the dhyana. We'll chant the sloka of Goddess Saraswati. If you know, you can chant in your own place. Saraswati namastubhyam Varade kamarupini Vidyarambham karishyami Siddhir bhavatu me sada. Ya kundendu tusarahara dhavala Ya subhravastra bruta Ya veena varadanda manditakara Ya shveta padmasana Ya brahmachuta sankara prabhudivihi Devai sada vandita Samam padu saraswati bhagavati Nissesajadhyapaha Nissesajadhyapaha. Now we'll do the sankalpa. If you have rice or flour, You hold in your right hand and put on the left hand and put on your right knee and just listen or repeat after me. Om ममोपात समस्त दुरित क्षयद्वारा अस्मिन् शुभ मुहूर्ते ज्ञान वैराग्य भक्ति तथा विद्या विनय प्राप्त्यर्थम श्री सद्गुरु प्रसाद सिद्ध्यर्थम श्री सरस्वती दिव्याः प्रसाद सिद्ध्यर्थम च श्री सरस्वती पूजाम् अद्य यथा कालोचित मिलित द्रव्यैः करिष्ये अद्य करिष्ये अद्य करिष्ये। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। आवाहयामि। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। पाद्यम् अर्घ्यम् आचमनीयम् औपचारिक स्नानं समर्पयामि। स्नानानन्तरम् आचमनीयं समर्पयामि। वस्त्रार्थमक्षतान् समर्पयामि। Now we'll chant 27 names of Goddess Saraswati.
ॐ सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ महाभद्रायै नमः। ॐ महामायायै नमः। ॐ वरप्रदायै नमः। ॐ श्रीप्रदायै नमः। ॐ पद्मनिलयायै नमः। ॐ पद्माक्ष्यै नमः। ॐ पद्मवक्त्रकायै नमः। ॐ शिवानुजायै नमः। ॐ पुस्तकभृते नमः। ॐ ज्ञानमुद्रायै नमः। ॐ रमायै नमः। ॐ परायै नमः। ॐ कामरूपायै नमः। ॐ महाविद्यायै नमः। ॐ महापातकनाशिन्यै नमः। ॐ महाश्रयायै नमः। ॐ मालिन्यै नमः। ॐ महाभोगायै नमः। ॐ महाभुजायै नमः। ॐ महाभागायै नमः। ॐ महोत्साहायै नमः। ॐ दिव्यांगायै नमः। ॐ सुरवन्दितायै नमः। ॐ महाकाल्यै नमः। ॐ महापाशायै नमः। ॐ महाकारायै नमः। ॐ महाकारायै नमः। ॐ महाकारायै नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः।
नानाविध परिमल मंत्र पुष्पाणि समर्पयामि। ओम दशांगम गुग्गुलोपेतं सुगंधं च मनोहरम्। आग्रेय सर्वदेवानां धूपोऽयं प्रतिगृह्यता। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। धूपम् अग्रापयामि। Chanting. She stopped. Okay. धूपमाघ्रापयामि। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। धूपानन्तरम् आचमनीयं दीपं संदर्शयामि। दीपानन्तरम् आचमनीयं समर्पयामि। ओम भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम प्राणाय स्वाहा। ओम अपानाय स्वाहा। ओम व्यानाय स्वाहा। ओम उदानाय स्वाहा। ओम समानाय स्वाहा। ओम ब्रह्मणे स्वाहा। ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। नानाविध सुमिष्टद्रव्याणि फलानि च निवेदयामि। मध्ये मध्ये अमृतपानीयं समर्पयामि। मुखप्रक्षालनं समर्पयामि। हस्तप्रक्षालनं समर्पयामि। करोद्वर्तनकं समर्पयामि। अमृतपिधानमसि। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। राजोपचारान् समर्पयामि। Now the Rajopachara, please. Geetam Sravayami.
हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, तू स्वर के देवी संगीत तुझसे, तू स्वर के देवी संगीत तुझसे, हर शब्द तेरा है हर गीत तुझसे, हर शब्द तेरा है हर गीत तुझसे, हम हैं अकेले, हम हैं अधूरे, हम हैं अकेले, हम हैं अधूरे, तेरी शरण हमें प्यार दे माँ, तेरी शरण हमें प्यार दे माँ, हे शारदे माँ। मुनियों ने समझी गुणियों ने जाने, मुनियों ने समझी गुणियों ने जाने, वेदों की भाषा पुराणों की वाणी, मुनियों ने समझी गुणियों ने जानी, वेदों की भाषा पुराणों की वाणी, हम भी तो समझे, हम भी तो जाने, हम भी तो समझे, हम भी तो जाने, विद्या का हमको अधिकार दे माँ, विद्या का हमको अधिकार दे माँ, हे शारदे माँ। तू श्वेत वर्णी कमल पे विराजे, हाथों में वीणा मुकुट सर पे साजे, तू श्वेत वर्णी कमल पे विराजे, हाथों में वीणा मुकुट सर पे साजे, मन से हमारे मिटा के अंधेरे, मन से हमारे मिटा के अंधेरे, हमको जानो ग संसार दे माँ, हमको जानो ग संसार दे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ।
Only one. ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। पूजा काले मंत्र तंत्र स्वरवर्णलोपदोष प्रायश्चित्तार्थम इदं नामत्रय जपं करिष्ये। ओम अच्युताय नमः। ओम अनंताय नमः। ओम गोविंदाय नमः। कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्य सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि श्रीमन्नारायणायेति समर्पयामि। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। Now we sought the blessings of Goddess Saraswati on our graduates and all the families and everybody, whoever is present, whoever is not present, on all of us. Now we'll go to next item. Please announce. And children, the graduates can bow down to Goddess Saraswati in their own place.
Next, we will hear from Swamiji, who will now address the graduates.
समस्तजन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Hari Om. My pranams to each one of you, all the graduates, their parents, our Dhirenji, uncle and auntie, and Sankarji, Ashokji and Arunji, and each one of you. And to all our Bala Vihar and Bala Vihar teachers. Millions of children that are graduating, but there is something special here. Like when we take a piece of paper and then we put a stamp, Reserve Bank puts a stamp, then that paper becomes very valuable. That's why all the children who are graduating from here have the stamp of Pujya Gurudev. It is not an ordinary thing. He was extremely wealthy, highly educated, very talented, but he sacrificed something. That sacrifice is not that much in terms of material things, sacrifice in terms of his all the lower tendencies. And for that purpose, he worked very sincerely and devotedly under Swami Tapunji Maharaj, under Swami Shivananji Maharaj, and this mission is built. So you are something special. And I bow down to each one of you. You are not ordinary children who are just graduating something from somewhere. Graduation means shifting to a higher level of thinking from the ordinary way of thinking, worldly way of thinking. Graduation, that means you have graduated, some higher way of thinking. When you gain knowledge, the first sign of knowledge that is that our actions will not be guided by our usual way of thinking. It will be guided by the newer way of thinking, and which you have gained here. All our Bala Vihar teachers, of course, all parents, they have brought you here, And all our teachers, they have worked very sincerely with all their heart and soul. They have taught you something. It may be look silly, some story of Ganeshji, some stories from Ramayana, some slokas from Bhagavad Gita. It may look like it has what is not a big deal, but they have given for them, it was a big thing. Every Sunday they will come here, they will keep everything, all the housework and everything aside, and they have come here and they have taught from KG till the 12th grade. And surely it is not just for spending time and have fun. No, there is a higher purpose. That higher purpose is that how our children will develop a higher level of thinking. Now in the school and college we go, and school and colleges are so many schools and colleges, we have to pay so much of money, so that how we'll be eligible to earn something, so that we can eat food, we can buy a car, we can buy a TV set. That's all. All the big universities or small universities, they are preparing children just to earn, just to earn, just to earn, and then enjoy. That's all. Just to satisfy the urges of this body. There is nothing higher in that one. There is nothing new. Even after studying, getting very high grades, our life doesn't change. Misery starts. Everything is there. Car is there, house is there, spouse is there, everything is there, will be there, because all of you will go to top universities and you will surely earn good. And these things, worldly things, are not a problem for you at all. You'll get. But at the same time, to lead a happy life, we need blessings. Material things can only stay outside. They cannot enter inside and enhance our life. They cannot complete us. By buying a car will not complete our heart. It will fill the garage, but it will not fill the heart. So our heart remains the same. There is no change. But you have got that education, that what is the main purpose. Of course, all of you will be have all kinds of material facilities because you have studied well, and of course now the job is different. Now it will change. Different things will change. But if you are entirely depending on your job and the income, that is not sufficient. That is not sufficient to lead a happy life, to lead a life of love, to lead a life of contentment. That is not sufficient. So one has to depend upon the spiritual knowledge what you have gained. So I don't want to give a big speech, but when you go to college, don't forget that every day, keep some time, 5 minutes or something, take a picture of the god or goddess. Don't feel shy at all that, okay, we are worshipping some pictures or some things. No, we are worshipping God. That picture is just a medium, just a help. And do practice concentration, because now I see children, they have very less concentration. Mind is very agitated. They do things because all the time they are going through a lot of tensions and worries, anxieties. And that is not education. If the college teaching is helping us to be miserable people, then what kind of education that is? So never give up this thing. In your room, keep a picture of Puja Gurudev or any goddess, and see that picture with closed eyes, and do a little japa for 5 minutes. Practice little concentration. It will help you a lot. We see children, and you don't have to study so many hours. There's no need. If the mind is focused, less study, but you will do well. And always you will take right decisions. And with this much, I pray for Puja Gurudev's blessings. You are his children. So we feel that all of you should shine in your life and should be a role model for others. So others should know that the children are a little different. So they have something to learn. If we are like everybody, then there is no point. There is no point. Others are they are going to clubs, they are drinking, they are running after this person or that person. We are also doing the same thing. Then it will not really there is no greatness. There is nothing to learn from a person. But please give importance to this and shine in your life, and your life be blessed one. Hari Om. May Puja Gurudev bless all of you. Hari Om.
Thank you to Swamiji for your words of wisdom. With the blessings of Saraswati Devi and Swamiji, we will move on to the next part of our program, the chanting of the Taithriya Upanishad by two of our graduates, Raghav Narsimhan and Ritika Nair. This Upanishad speaks of the rules of conduct throughout the various stages of life. The beginning portion, which will be recited today, is a beautiful address, much like a convocation address in which the teacher tells the student about virtues to cultivate and ideals to foster in order to build a noble character.
ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ वेदमनुच्याचार्योऽन्ते वासिनमनुशास्ति सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान्मा प्रमदः आचार्याय प्रियं धनमाहृत्य प्रजातन्तुं मा व्यवच्छेत्सीः सत्यान्न प्रमदितव्यं धर्मान्न प्रमदितव्यं कुशलान्न प्रमदितव्यं भूत्यै न प्रमदितव्यं स्वाध्याय प्रवचनाभ्यां न प्रमदितव्यं देवपितृकार्याभ्यां न प्रमदितव्यं मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव यान्यनवद्यानि कर्माणि तानि सेवितव्यानि नो इतराणि यान्यस्माकं सुचरितानि तानि त्वयोपास्यानि नो इतराणि
ये चास्मच्छ्रेयागंसो ब्राह्मणाः तेषां त्वयासनेन प्रश्वसितव्यं श्रद्धया देयम् अश्रद्धया देयं श्रिया देयं ह्रिया देयं भिया देयं संविदा देयम् अथ यदि ते कर्म विचिकित्सा वा वृत्त विचिकित्सा वा स्यात् ये तत्र ब्राह्मणाः सम्मर्षिणः युक्ता अयुक्ताः अलूक्षा धर्मकामा स्युः यथा ते तत्र वर्तेरन् तथा तत्र वर्तेथाः अता व्याख्यातेषु ये तत्र ब्राह्मणाः सम्मर्षिणः युक्ता अयुक्ताः अलूक्षा धर्मकामा स्युः यथा ते तेषु वर्तेरन् तथा तेषु वर्तेथाः एष आदेशः एष उपदेशः एषा वेदोपनिषत् एतदनुशासनम् एवमुपासितव्यम् एवमचैतदुपास्यम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
Now we would like to introduce Sri Shankar Pillai, one of the founding members of Chinmaya Mission Chicago and president of its board. Shankar Uncle will now address the graduates.
Hari Om. My love and best wishes to all of you. This is a very, very special, ceremonial and significant occasion of our center. My congratulations to you and your parents for recognizing the value and importance and continuing with the value-based education that mission has been able to give in your life. We feel very, very confident that of all the secular advancement that you will have further in your education, this benefit that you have received from Chinmaya Mission will remain the fundamental strength of your life. It's important that, as our Swamiji mentioned, I want to make a request to all of you that with the benefit of the enrichment that you have gotten from the mission, the onus is on all of you that wherever you are, in whichever campuses may be, whoever comes in contact with you, they should look up to you and you will benefit. They will benefit from your association throughout all your time in the campuses. This is something which you are capable of giving, and it should happen. This is the only request that I have to all of you, because I feel so confident that you have reached that benefit that will have in you to give to others. In this occasion, I just wanted to invite a very special individual over here. She has been a founding member of our mission. She has taught our Bala Vihar for more than 40 years, taught music and art, everything in our center, and on even more to be in the path of Gurudev in even more effectively. She has gone to Trinidad and completed a training course in Vedanta and come back to the US. Now she has taken primary responsibility to run the activities of our Indiana Center, Chinmaya Omkara. So I'm inviting, and we are very blessed to have a very special guest that from whom also we have benefited in our center from the very beginning. So I am inviting someone who needs absolutely no introduction to any of us in the mission, our Nirmita ji, to come and address all of you, to introduce our chief guest for this occasion. Before I request Nirmita to come over, I want to express my gratitude to Sri Andurkar ji and Abhijit Joshi to be primarily the custodians for our youth classes in the mission. Now I am requesting Nirmita to come over and address all of you. Hari Om, my love to all of you, and pranam to Swamiji.
Hari Om Shankarji, and thank you. Hari Om Swamiji, Swami Prakashananji, Hari Om and pranams from Nirmita. It is a privilege and honor to introduce my Guru, Pujya Swami Prakashananda, on this auspicious morning of the Badri graduates. It'll be close to a half a century Badri to be running. And it's a very, very proud moment to see all the graduates. For those of you who may not know Swami Prakashananda, he is a master of Vedanta and Sanskrit language. Teaching from the youngest children the values of Hinduism, the values of life that could be gained from learning the teachings of Hinduism and our scriptures, all the way taking spiritual seekers to the zenith of Jiva Brahma Aikya. Swamiji was born in California, not USA. It's located in Trinidad and Tobago. While studying for a bachelor's degree in political science and philosophy from the York University in Toronto, he met Pujya Swami Chinmayananda during a Jnana Yajna and soon joined the Brahmachari course at Chinmaya Mission Mumbai in 1991 to study the scriptures. Upon completion of his studies, he was named or given the name of Brahmachari Prem Chaitanya in 1994 and was assigned to give discourses at various centers in India and Nepal. As Brahmachari Prem Chaitanya, when he returned to Trinidad in 1997, he established the Chinmaya Mission Trinidad and Tobago, CMTT, literally with his own physical, mental, and intellectual capacity. Swami Tejumananda initiated Premji into sannyasa as Swami Prakashananda on Mahashivratri of 2005. Swamiji has traveled extensively in the entire Caribbeans, USA, Canada, and UK for spiritual discourses. He is closely associated, as Shankarji mentioned, with Chinmaya Mission Chicago from the early 2000s. We have had the privilege to have him for 3 college camps. We called it college camps in those days. Now it's the same as senior chicks or setukaris and what have you. And this was in Lake Geneva and numerous other times for camps and yagnas too. He is also the principal of Chinmaya Vidyalaya, 7 branches all over Trinidad and Tobago, the only Vidyalayas in the Western Hemisphere. Swamiji is also the Acharya of 3 residential Vedanta courses so far. Again, only one in the Western Hemisphere and one of just 5 in the whole world. Swamiji is the recipient of the highest national award that is awarded by the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. This is known as the Chacunya Medal for the most meritorious service towards promoting and achieving national welfare. This is actually given in 3 categories: bronze, silver, and gold. And Swamiji is obviously the recipient of the gold, the highest esteemed award. A little bit on the lighter side, this is quite heavy, a very impressive introduction of Swamiji. So a little bit on the lighter side, I would like to mention, because I've been to Trinidad and I've experienced it. He makes the best chai in the whole world. And children, get this, bakes the best pizza in his own brick oven that he built by himself. And he also loves to fix broken cars. He may even break a car to fix it. That's how much he loves it. Well, I experienced it, but if you all want to experience it, go to Trinidad when it's upcoming, with its upcoming Mahasamadhi camp, hopefully in 2023 or maybe 2022. We have to see with the situation of the recent Mahasamadhi camp. And of course, on the final note, I would like to leave with a most true and impressive statement on Swamiji. He, Swami Prakashananda, is an absolute pinnacle of grace, practicing what he preaches. It talks volumes about Swamiji. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om, Swamiji.
Very special Hari Om to all the teachers, all the graduates, and all the members of the executive of Chinmaya Mission Chicago, and all those other people who are listening. I am very, very delighted to be with all of you this morning. I just wanted to speak to all our graduates today in very simple language. So I will tell you, please just pay attention to the most important letter in the English alphabet for life. In the English alphabet, the most important letter for life is the letter Y. And the reason is, in our Katha Upanishad, there is a very, very great emphasis placed on choice. It says in the Katha Upanishad, in the 2nd chapter, that Shreyascha Preyascha Manushyametaha, that in this world, good and pleasant things come to all human beings. From one side, good will be presenting itself, and from another side, pleasant things will be presenting themselves. And then it says, Tau Samparitya Vivinakti Dhiraha. These are very, very important words in the 2nd line of this very, very famous verse of the Katha Upanishad. So now, why it is important? Let me just go over the words again, and then we'll see. Okay. Last word which I quoted just now, it says Dhiraha. Dhiraha means a wise person. Okay. Our Puja Gurudev used to say that in this world, there are 2 types of people, those who are wise and those who are otherwise. We say in ordinary English language, those who are the wise ones and those who are foolish, in simple language. Now, who wants to be a foolish person? Nobody wants to be a foolish person, isn't it? We all want to be wise. And here in this verse, a very nice connection is made between wisdom and proper choice. So our life at all times is always on a Y junction like this. That's why I told you that Y is a very important letter in the alphabet. Y junction, you know. So when you get to this junction, you can either go this side or you can go this side. And the wise person, he says, that person, Tau Samparitya Vivinakti. What a wonderful phrase. I tell you, now you all will be going to your colleges and your universities and different places, right? And you may not have enough time to study all of these most wonderful presentations in the Upanishads. But at some time in your life, you will certainly get some spare time. Please make sure that you do not forsake or relinquish this great treasure of Upanishadic knowledge, which we have inherited from the great saints and sages of our ancient civilization. When you get time, please delve into these verses and see how wonderfully they are presented. So what it is telling? It is telling that life is always at a Y junction. Always. Every moment. Suppose you are at this junction and you make the wrong choice. Okay. You walk 10 feet down the wrong path. Still you are at a Y junction there. You can still turn. At every moment, life is at a Y junction. You can turn anytime. See, right now you are listening to me. So the choice is there. Either you listen to this Upanishadic message or you get up and you go away. After going away for 5 minutes, again you can come back and turn on, isn't it? So life like that is always. Don't believe all the old things. You know, people say, what? Opportunity knocks once. It is not true. Opportunity is leaning up on your doorbell. Opportunity leans up on the doorbell like that. It's always knocking. So you can always, if you walk down, made the wrong choice, again you'll be at a Y junction. Again, you can always turn back to the right thing. Okay. So it says the one who now, when he gets to that junction, Tau Samparitya, when he considers very well, look at all the pros and cons here and look at all the pros and cons here. This is what Bhagavan is telling to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, you know. The whole Bhagavad Gita is actually hinging on this only. But Arjuna wants to run away. Bhagavan is telling, you stand here and fight. So now, if you run away, these are the consequences. if you stand here and fight, these will be the consequences. So Arjuna is at that Y junction. So Bhagavan is telling, the better choice for you, my dear, is to stand here and fight. Because that is going to result in Shreya, means the best for everybody. And you want to make this choice, you see. So the one who stands there and considers the pros and cons of this side and considers the pros and cons of this side and then makes his choice accordingly, Bhagavan calls that person as Dhiraha. He's called a wise. And everybody wants to be wise. Who wants to be unwise? We all want to turn out to be wise people. So what we do, always stop at Y junction in life, look, observe, consider, and weigh the pros and cons and make judgment and choices based on those pros and cons. Sometimes when we are there, like in Arjuna's case, Arjuna is about to make the wrong choice. And at that time, luckily for Arjuna, Bhagavan Shri Krishna himself is there to guide. No, my dear, if you make this choice, you're going to bring detriment to so many, including yourself, if you make this choice. So Arjuna had the fortune of having the guidance of Bhagavan Shri Krishna himself. In our case, and all of you are so fortunate, you all have right there in your midst our Pujya Swami Sharanananji, who has been there guiding all of you for so many years. And now Niripta Amma is there, and there are so many people who can guide you in your center. So many times when we are at that Y junction, we don't know what things to consider and how to weigh the pros and cons and all of that of both sides. If we are unclear about that, take guidance. We may not be as fortunate as Arjuna to have Bhagavan Shri Krishna, but we have very good substitutes in our own surroundings. We go up the ladder and take help of our parents, and if the parents cannot help, then we go to the Acharya, this head of the mission there, and all of that, and take the guidance and weigh the pros and cons and make choices that are in line with Shastras, with scriptures, with the tradition, like that. That person is considered to be wise. Person who does not do this and acts whimsically, as Arjuna was about to do, that person is called unwise. So this making of the proper choice, the proper decision, making of proper decisions is what actually marks apart a wise person from an unwise person. And what word is given there by Bhagavan Shri Krishna, by the Upanishad? The word is Samparitya. Samparitya means considering very well. Considering very well all the pros and cons on this side and all the pros and cons on this side. Not just to make a off-the-cuff decision or what we call whimsical decision or, deciding by my own whims and fancies and all that. Consider things very well. And the important message in the first line is, please remember this, life is going to present these two to all of us constantly. It is a constant flow of the pairs of opposites in our life or different options and possibilities and all of that in our life, different alternatives. It is going to constantly provide that. See, suppose you've decided to go to a particular university. Okay, so you weigh the pros and cons. I want to go to this university or this university. Then you weigh, this one is closer to home, this one is further from home, this one is going to allow me to do double degree at the same time, this one doesn't. And you go on there weighing all the pros and cons, and then you make a decision to choose a particular university. When you go there also, don't think that all your choices are over. Before you, life will always go on presenting so many things. And there also you will be faced with so many choices to be made. So it is all about choices in life. When we encounter this Y junction, or when we come to this Y junction, always follow the procedure of the Upanishad and consider well and make choices based on that, taking the guidance of those who are wise, those who are knowledgeable, and all of that. Life will turn out very well. And just now Swamiji gave very nice advice to all of you. that when we acquire things on the outside, really, that is no guarantee that we have evolved on the inside. External acquisition is no sign or guarantee of any internal evolution. Please remember this. Now, if internally I am a very calm person and I look at life very objectively and I make my decisions based on welfare and benefit for the greater good, including my own good. If I make decisions like that and I make choices that are going to bring benefit to a greater number for the greatest amount of time, those are better choices. That person has demonstrated evolution from inside. It doesn't matter how many things he has acquired outside. This is a very, very important message of Vedanta. So all our choices should be guided by this thing. What is it? This is called as the greatest benefit for the greatest number. Our Puja Gurudev used to say this all the time. Choices should always be guided by this very overarching principle. The overarching principle is to bring the greatest amount of happiness to the greatest number of people for the greatest amount of time. This is very important thing. Otherwise, what happens? People when they come to this Y junction, they always make choices that's going to bring benefit only to themselves. This is where the whole species has gone wrong, Everybody is making decisions only to bring benefit to themselves. And this is why the planet has come to a state, or we human beings have brought our planet to a state where now we are threatening our own existence. Because all decisions were made like this. When we found ourselves at Y junction, all decisions were made based on my welfare and my benefit and what I'm going to get out of it and what is good for me only. We have to start thinking what is good for the whole of the universe, what is good for the whole of the world. If Hinduism has one thing to teach humanity, it is this thing, that we should all think in terms of the welfare and benefit of all of humanity, and all our decisions should be guided by this overarching principle of welfare and benefit for all of humanity. Right now, see Shankarji, Nirmitaji, Swamiji, all of them, they have been here in your center. I have been meeting all of them for so many years. You tell. Nirmita Amma has been teaching for 40 years. Shankarji has been running a mission in Chicago for so many years, right, from its inception. Have any one of them ever gotten 1 cent for what they have been doing? No. The work that they are doing and the work that all our sevaks and sevikas do, it is not for any type of material benefit like that. So they're thinking about whose benefit? They are thinking solely about your benefit. Why will somebody teach children for 40 years and get no pay? That means to say that they're thinking about your welfare and your benefit. And this is really the essence of seva, which is taught in Hinduism. And people who make decisions based on this, whatever I'm going to do in my life, let me think from the broadest perspective that whatever I'm going to do, let it bring welfare and benefit to all people. That person really gives teeth to this whole duty of making right choices as is spoken about in our Kathopanishad. Now, in the Kathopanishad, of course, what is being spoken about is something at a higher level. It is talking about choosing worldliness as opposed to mukti. Choosing worldliness as opposed to mukti. That is the topic there. But that principle of choosing is applicable in all aspects of life, every point in our life. Making the right choice based on proper thinking and guidance from our wise ones. Okay, so always follow this procedure. Look, consider both sides, take guidance from scriptures, Swamiji, take guidance from the teachers, acharyas, and make choices that is going to bring benefit to whole of humanity. This is in essence what Bhagavan is telling to Arjuna also in the Bhagavad Gita. So if you follow this in your life, you're following Bhagavad Gita. It's so easy. You don't have to be a Sanskrit scholar to follow Gita, Okay. All right. With these few words, I want to wish all the graduates of the Bala Vihar program, 12th grade in Chicago. Great success in your life, and may you bring great benefit to all of humanity through your noble work. In our birthday song, our Puja Guruji has written a very nice line there. He says, "Punya karmana," by our punya karma, whatever all good work we have done, may punya karmana, kirti marjana, means may you become famous and well known for all the great things that you have done for humanity. And if you make choices with that in mind, that I'm going to bring benefit to the world, then certainly you will become famous and well known in this world. Okay, Hari Om. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Shankar Uncle and Swami Prakash Nandaji for imparting your wisdom. We would now like to welcome the graduates to address the audience today. First, we are going to hear from Chinmaya Amin. He is always presenting new ideas during class discussions. He went to Hinsdale Central High School. Chinmay will be attending Duke University on a pre-health track. Let's hear from him now.
Okay. Hari Om, my name is Chinmay. Pranams to Swami Sharanananda, Swami Prakashananda, and everyone else in the Chinmaya Mission family. As a 5-year-old in the pre-K class, one of the first concepts I was exposed to at Mission was that of satsang, or good company. I was told that if I surrounded myself with people who upheld positive values and made good decisions, I too would be more likely to follow the right path. And to be completely honest, in my early years of Mission, I looked forward more to seeing friends than learning spiritual lessons from my teachers. I loved eating lunch with peers after the shrine or playing capture the flag in between a long day of class at the summer camp. But as I grew a bit older, I realized that it was Chinmaya Mission that provided me with satsang throughout my life. In my peers, I found individuals who held similar value set as I did, people that came back week after week to further strengthen their base and hope to lead a more spiritual life. I was able to engage in meaningful discussion with teachers who would become role models to me. In my life outside of Mission, it was these people who began to serve as a guideline for how I should conduct myself when confronted with challenges or ethical dilemmas. Just by spending time with them, by learning from them each Sunday, I had strengthened my Viveka Buddhi. As I got further into high school, my workload picked up and my involvement at the Mission slowed down. But when I returned as a senior, it was as if I'd never left. Abhijit Ji and Sridhar Ji enthusiastically involved me in discussion and were always willing to answer my questions. It's after this that I fully appreciate the satsang and community that exists here at Chinmaya. I look to the future with resolve, knowing that the values I've picked up here will stick with me and help me face the challenges life will bring. Thank you and Hari Om.
Next, we will hear from Manvit Adusumilli. He is a humble and calm person who listens attentively in class. He went to Hinsdale Central High School. Manvit will be attending the University of Notre Dame with a major in neuroscience and behavior. Please join me in welcoming Manvit.
Hari Om, Swamiji, teachers, and everyone. My name is Manvit Adusumilli. When I first came to Chinmaya Mission as a kid, I remember hearing about the interesting stories of the Ramayana from my teachers. But as I grew older, I started to see how these stories became more applicable to my personal life and taught us important values once we discussed core aspects of Hinduism, such as controlling our desires. Because I came to Chinmaya Mission, I was able to gain a deeper understanding of Hinduism, and it became to the point where I was able to share what I learned with others. I did this in school when I became board member of the Indian Culture Club and realized that I could go beyond the surface level and explain the purpose and meaning behind our traditions and celebrations. I believe that it is important to have a deep understanding of your culture so that you can share with others and avoid spreading misconceptions. And I think coming to Chinmaya Mission has made it possible for me to gain this understanding. Going forward, I know that I will be able to continue to use the knowledge that I've received to share what I've learned with others and continue my personal growth and spiritual growth. Thank you to Swamiji, my teachers, and everyone who has taught and helped me along the way. Hari Om.
Our next speaker is Raghav Narsimhan. He is a talented and courteous student who went to Neuqua Valley High School. He will be attending the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign and will be majoring in finance. Please join me in welcoming Raghav.
Hari Om, everyone. First of all, I would like to start by thanking all of my teachers from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade, Nanda Auntie and Dana Auntie all the way to Sridhar Uncle and Abhijit Uncle. And I would also like to thank Swamiji and everyone else for being here today. Of the many things I've learned from Chinmaya Mission throughout my entire life, one of the most important things I've learned is that life revolves around values. And it's not just academics or any other things that are going on in your life. Values have helped me to make the right decisions many times throughout my life where I could have possibly gone wrong. Some of the important values that I've learned throughout my entire time here at Chinmaya Mission are to not be attached to anything and to control my thoughts and emotions because they can eventually transform into actions. For example, one of the most important things I've learned is to do your best and leave the rest, and to not be attached to your results. And this has helped me several times throughout my entire life when I'm taking an important test or trying to get something accomplished. This helps me to truly be focused on what I am doing rather than diverting my attention to the result instead. Because whenever I do that, I realized, especially while taking a test or even playing tennis, I've learned that if I'm focused on the result, I can't focus on what I'm actually doing. So having said that, my pranams to Swamiji, Puja Gurudev, Sridhar Uncle, and Abhijit Uncle. And thank you to everyone for being here once again. Hari Om.
We will now hear from Rahul Cole. He is an honest and hardworking person who went to Neuqua Valley High School. He will be attending Vanderbilt University and will be double majoring in computer science and organizational development / business. Let's hear from Rahul.
Hari Om, everyone. I just wanted to first start off by saying that I'm extremely thankful for everything the mission has provided me over the years. Growing up in the US has for sure impacted our connection to Indian culture. I feel like without the mission, I would not have or understand the important values Hinduism provides us with. My love goes out to all the adults that sacrifice so much time to make sure everything runs smoothly, from teaching classes to even this event now. My mom was telling me the other day that the first time I went for a class here was when I was like maybe 4 or 5 years old. I forced her to come with me and I started crying or something during class, probably because it was a new experience for me and I wasn't ready for change. It's really interesting to note how it changed for me since then. And honestly, whenever I attend the mission, it feels like another home. I know the values that I have learned here are going to be with me forever and has truly made a huge impact on my future actions. From learning the importance of paying attention to the opinions of others, to speaking your mind, Bala Vihar has truly taught me so much. I hope to one day bring my kids to the mission as well, as I know I can rely on it to make sure they have good values and maintain a linkage to Indian culture. Hari Om, and thank you, everyone.
Next, we will hear from Ritika Nair, a cheerful and kind individual who went to Neuqua Valley High School. She will be attending University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign and will be majoring in biochemistry. Let's hear from Ritika.
Hari Om, pranams to Swamiji, Swami Prakash Ji, and to all of my teachers. My name is Ritika. I know that although we're all graduating, many of us don't feel like we've actually graduated yet. Like we all have some sort of unfinished business. So in the past few months, when we asked ourselves, what was all of this for? coming up with an answer was bound to be a little bit difficult, especially after some of the discussions we've had under a Chinmaya Mission roof. I think it's safe to say that Bala Vihar kids have some of the most intense existential crises that exist. It's so easy to get overwhelmed and push everything we've learned away, but something healthier and happier is to start to observe on our own some of the things that we've learned here and some things we see right in front of us. For example, when Swamiji smiles and taps our head with a little fist, it's impossible not to smile back. I don't make the rules. And just like that, we start to practice ourselves reaching far with something as small as a smile. So when it feels like our paths have led us to a crossroads rather than a checkpoint, we've been given a privilege of knowing that neither the roadblock nor the checkpoint was the end of our journey. And I think that this was the most important thing I've learned in order to keep trying to move forward. So from the bottom of my heart, congratulations to all of my fellow graduates. And thank you so much to all of the people, my parents, my teachers, my friends, the uncles running the show behind the scenes to make this possible. Thank you and Hari Om.
Our next speaker, Rohit Bansay, is a hardworking and kind person who went to Neuqua Valley High School. He will be attending Brown University with a double major in applied mathematics and computer science. Please join us in welcoming Rohit.
Hello, my name is Rohit Bansay. I would like to start by saying my pranams and thank you to Swamiji, all of my teachers, parents, and classmates. Not only has Chinmaya taught me Vedanta, it has also provided me a community. I have found a sense of solidarity not only in the aspect of gathering with friends and family to learn and celebrate, but also from the rich history of culture and traditions I've learned at Chinmaya. In reflecting, I've understood the tremendous impact that this culture has had on many aspects of my life, such as influence in the realm of spirituality. Learning about Hinduism has been a truly fruitful experience. Having attended classes at Chinmaya Mission since the age of 5, I've recently come to see the value it's played in my growth and life. What once used to be an activity that I was not particularly fond of turned into something I looked forward to and highly regarded as I grew older. In exploring my Hindu identity, I was able to learn about concepts such as the interconnectedness of humanity, detachment, and personal agency. Through exploring the ancient, rich culture of Hinduism, I've learned philosophies and concepts applicable in my day-to-day life. As I go to university in the fall, I will undoubtedly continue to uphold the traditions and values of my Indian heritage and will forever remember my second home at Chinmaya. Thank you, Hari Om.
We will now hear from Rajutalaki, a joyful student who always brings a new perspective to class discussions. She went to Mattia Valley High School and will be attending the University of Illinois at Chicago and will be on the pre-med track, studying neuroscience with a minor in finance. Let's hear from Raju.
Hari Om, everyone. So my story starts the same as pretty much everyone else here. The alarm would ring at 7:30, since the mission is a good 45 minutes from where I live, and my parents would drag me out of bed to go to the mission. When teachers would always ask the question, why do you come to the mission? I would always agree with the rest of the students that it was because of my parents. However, as time went on, I began to thoroughly enjoy coming to mission due to the amazing discussions and values we learned, along with the lifelong friends I've made during the way. I would remember coming to class and being excited because of all the stories the teachers told us about the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. From the coloring pages I did in the kindergarten class to learn the alphabet of values to the in-depth discussions I've had these last few years, I've really learned a lot from Chinmaya Mission, and these life lessons have made their way into my day-to-day life. Mission has personally allowed me to reflect upon what I've learned in class and bring in those learnings into my school life along with my social life. The mission has taught me to better understand others, respect myself, and most importantly has allowed me to gain insight more into the Vedantic studies and my religion. From the Mahashivratri plays to the discussions about faith and the concept of a God, I will be taking all of these learnings and experiences and applying them now into the college setting. I will miss coming to class every morning and seeing all of my friends and learning new things every day. And I'm beyond grateful to have gone to the Chinmaya Mission since kindergarten and cannot wait to see where these teachings lead me into the future years. I would also like to thank all of my teachers along with Swamiji for making my experience worthwhile, along with Sridhar uncle and Abhijit uncle for making this last year the best one despite the current circumstances. Thank you and Hari Om.
Lastly, we will hear from Saranya Devi Sanaka, who has always been an observant and involved student during every Bala Vihar class. She went to Munster High School and will be attending Miami University, studying biology on the pre-med track. Please join us in welcoming Saranya.
Hari Om to Swamiji, teachers, graduates, and the Chinmaya Mission family. My name is Saranya Sanaka. I've been attending Chinmaya since I was 4 years old. I first started in Yamunotri, where we were able to get this reminder of Radhaji, and then where we moved to Omkara in Indiana, and finally coming to Badri in my high school years. I'm grateful to have been exposed to a place that allowed me to explore not just my religion, but also my culture from such a young age. I would like to thank all the teachers and Swami Sharanananda who taught us all these values and volunteered their time to teach our generation. Although when I was younger, the main thing I enjoyed was playing with friends and participating in plays, as I grew older, I was grateful for the lessons taught in classes and being able to apply them to my life. I hope I can take these values that Chinmaya has taught me to not only better myself, but also to help others. Congratulations to my fellow graduates. Thank you and Hari Om.
Congratulations to all of our 2020 Bala Vihar graduates.
I would now like to invite Sridhar Underkar to say a few words to the graduates. Sridhar Uncle is a passionate and enthusiastic 11th and 12th grade Bala Vihar Sevak who has been a committed member of the mission for several years. He will now say a few words to all of us.
Hari Om, everyone. My pranams to each one of you. And thank you, Anjana. My name is Sridhar Andurkar. We have been fortunate to have been members of the mission family for about 15 years now. And I consider this to be a great privilege in my life. My heartiest congratulations to all the graduates. I was almost tearing up as I heard each one of you speak. You've spoken so well, you look so good. Don't they look fantastic, everybody, the graduates? So my congratulations to you all and also to your families as we celebrate your graduation today. I must commend the resilience of the graduates because they have managed to celebrate graduation in ways that we never imagined before, especially in the face of this ongoing pandemic. I don't think it was a deterrent at all. That uncertainty and change are the only constants in life is something that is quite evident, is now more than ever before. And so we must prepare our lives so that we can live dynamically in the face of these uncertainties by finding a solid anchor in life. And I believe that's what mission activities do for us as we embark on this journey year after year. So really, it has been fascinating to watch many of you through your years in the Bala Vihar days. I've seen many of you week after week. You came to the mission with your parents. In the elementary and middle school years, your sevaks and sevikas taught you through chanting of stotras, shlokas, through all the inspiring stories from the Ramayana, Mahabharatas, all the enactments that you were able to create during various cultural programs. As you progressed through your high school years, the learning became more discussion-based. And by the time you were in your senior year, as you recall, we were discussing Bhagavad Gita, we discussed chapter 12, chapter 13. But really, through all of these activities, what we were learning was value-based living. It is this value-based living that helps us through our life and helps us navigate and manage these changes. Of all the values you learn, what you will find is that some of them will resonate with you. These are the values you should hold on to, you should adopt them, and you should begin to practice in your lives, as we have discussed in class. And what we've also learned in your senior year is that when you faithfully start practicing these one or two values that resonate most with you, it automatically and effortlessly brings you close to all the other values that are divine. A value-based living keeps us connected to the changeless divine, which serves really as an anchor, and it holds something that gives us something to hold on to in the midst of this ever-changing world. So for many of us, coming to the mission every week is like a weekly recharge. But now many of you will be moving away from home. And so one might begin to wonder, how might this recharge be possible? How will you recharge? How might you stay connected? So really, I believe that you have already imbibed the teachings from all of your Bala Vihar teachers, from Swamiji, from all the acharyas we've heard over the years. And there is no doubt in my mind that you will be connected with the mission. But a few simple things you can do. Continue your routine of daily prayers. And remember one thing at all times. Pujya Gurudev is always with us. He sees everything. He hears everything. And if you carefully listen, he is also our guiding voice. But really, there is an easy way to recharge. We are all familiar with our Chinmaya Mission pledge. We have chanted it countless numbers of times, and we know it by heart. We probably can chant it any time of the day or night. The pledge originally is written by Pujya Tapovan Maharaj, and it was translated and adopted in his infinite wisdom and kindness by our Pujya Gurudev as our pledge for the Chinmaya Mission. I want you to pay special attention to it, especially when you chant it today. Pay close attention to every word. Focus on what every word means, what these words are trying to convey. As we heard from Swami Prakash Ji earlier, we are trying to lead a life where we are thinking of global welfare. Well, the pledge is exactly that. It teaches you how to act in society so that we act in the interest of global welfare. You will find that the pledge teaches us who we are, how we are connected, how to live life, how to conduct oneself, and how to function in society, bringing the maximum amount of happiness to the maximum number of people for the maximum amount of time. These dynamic words from our great masters, I guarantee you, will surely recharge you every time you chant it. So be sure and chant the pledge at least once a day. You will find that you are always charged. Before I conclude, I must thank a few youngsters for their contributions to this graduation program. I want to thank Nidhi Sagaram for doing such an excellent job with the Namavali during the Saraswati Puja. I want to also thank Gauri Salem. Thank you, Gauri, for your soulful singing of the bhajan during the Saraswati Puja. Lastly, I also want to thank our MCs for today, the dynamic duo of Aniruddha Raghuveer and Anjana Bharadwaj. They are doing a fantastic job. Thank you so much, Anjana and Anirudh. For my co-sevak Abhijit ji and myself, being your Bala Vihar sevak has been our greatest privilege. We will really be very happy to see you back in class, in person or virtually, however the classes go, whenever your time permits or whenever you are visiting home. Please make it a point to come see us. We are a family, and you should come and visit family when you are in town. Finally, on behalf of all of your Bala Vihar sevak and sevikas, my heartiest congratulations to you. All the best to you. May Pujya Gurudev bless you in your future pursuits. You are Gurudev's children. You are going to be a model in society. Thank you very much. Stay blessed. Hari Om.
Thank you, Sridhar uncle. Our next speaker, Shashi Narasimhan, is the parent of one of our graduates, Raghav, and a longtime member of Chinmaya Mission. Shashi uncle will now say a few words to us.
Hari Om. Thanks, Anirudh. My pranams to Swamiji's parents, teachers, friends, and children. It is truly an honor as well as a privilege to express few thoughts about our graduating students on behalf of all the graduating parents. We would like to say few words about on three areas primarily, how Chinmaya Mission has benefited our children and how we as parents are influenced by mission and its activities. When we say we, it should also be taken as all the parents of the graduating children. And when we say our children, it's all the graduating children. And it could also apply for other parents and children as well. Our children, as we heard, has been coming to Chinmaya Mission right from very young age, 3 years, 4, 5, 6 years. Their minds have been soaked with such values such as sincerity, honesty, truthfulness, love, compassion, which is typically not taught in a secular environment. And as they had started attending Bala Vihar sessions or classes every Sunday, week after week, they also were exposed to stories from Bala Bhagavatam, Bala Ramayanam, Panchatantra, and all the stories from our rich and ancient history. And they were also exposed to, in the middle years, extempore speeches and skits, quizzes, and so on. And also they were introduced to the concept of volunteering locally and also internationally. So doing seva. As they stepped into the higher grades, into the high school, they were introduced to the concept of Vedanta and how Vedanta relates to their academic field and how they can implement Vedanta in their academic careers. They were also introduced to the Bhagavad Gita and also the stotrams and chantings that throughout the years, from their elementary all the way up to 12th grade, they have come across Bhagavad Gita and chanting stotrams. And whether they accept or not, or they were aware of or not, chanting all of them, all of the stotrams and bhajans and Bhagavad Gita has helped in them learning newer languages, able to communicate better. It has helped them to kind of inner transformation, to handle more stresses in life. But it would not be possible, all of this, without the unwavering dedication and commitment from the teachers. And as parents, it would be naive to think that our children would have learned all of this in the Bala Vihar program without parents being part and parcel of the mission. So both the parents, or at least one parent, have been coming to the mission along with their children consistently, and we see the reward that has really brought us in that our children are graduating and are going to excel in their own fields of choice. As part of the parents are concerned, we have been involved in study groups and discussions, and that really has helped us to understand and follow the concepts of Vedanta and how we can implement that in our daily lives, how we can see the pins and tricks and the joys and successes, both of them at the same level with equanimity. And it also helped us to volunteer in the mission, whether it be summer camps or it could be a Mother's Day. And those of us who have volunteered in the mission on Mother's Day know that there's no need for any exercises to do at home or anywhere on the Mother's Day or the day before or a couple of days after. So that's a good thing for all of us. And finally, I would like to say a little bit about the mission activities in terms of what we have learned from Swamiji and Shankarji, Ashokji, and others. They have been our guiding force all these years. And Swamiji, with his humility and and accepting things as they are, not expecting as they should be, whether it be people, circumstances, situations, and his love for everybody equally. And we have learned from Shankarji and Ashokji about the concept of doing service without expecting anything back. And those of us who have seen Ashokji, he's an embodiment of Karma Yogi, and he has never asked anybody to do anything, and he leads by example all the time. So with that, we will all of his parents are fortunate and blessed to be part of the mission, and we are looking to strengthen our relationship with the mission in the years to come. And at the same time, we have faith in our children that they will also keep this connection with the mission and then continue to build upon it in their years to come, in their careers, in their onward journey. Thank you, and Hari Om.
Thank you, Shashi Uncle. Next, I would like to invite Riddhi Underkar from the CHIC group to welcome the graduates to the next stage of their Chinmaya Mission journey, the Chinmaya Yuva Kendra.
Hari Om, everyone. Congratulations to all of the graduates on your graduation and for all of your accomplishments. My name is Riddhi, and I would like to formally welcome you into CHIC. I have been a part of Chinmaya Yuva Kendra for the past 2 years, and I can say that there are so many exciting opportunities ahead of you, and I cannot wait for all of you to begin this new journey. Being a part of CHIC is an amazing opportunity to learn, connect, serve, and grow along with a global community of like-minded peers. Over the next couple of slides, I will explain some of the things that you'll be able to do as a CHIC. The first thing is more learning opportunities. So as a CHIC, you will now be able to attend a variety of camps and retreats specifically meant for people your age. You'll also get to study texts with other CHICs, share experiences, and learn together. For example, on Monday evenings, can you please go back to the previous slide? Okay, thank you. For example, on Monday evenings, there's a virtual book club called Booklight, which is a new initiative that alternates weekly from discourses and discussions. Through Booklight, we study one text and we get to hear from many Swamins across the globe to share their knowledge with us. And this is a great opportunity to be able to interact with different Swamins from around the world. Right now, we just recently finished studying We Must by Gurudev, and we will be starting a new text around Labor Day. So the next thing is seva opportunities, and there's so many service opportunities you will be having available as a CHIC. There are global and regional seva opportunities, but you can also serve as a teacher for Bala Vihar classes. I can say that all the younger kids look up to you and admire you all, and they would love for you to be able to teach some of their classes. Okay, please, next slide, please. So through my experience with CHIC after graduating, I can say that becoming a CHIC is like being welcomed to a large family who truly cares about you, supports you, and is always rooting for you. All the CHICs that I have met through study groups and through the Youth Empowerment Program are the most supportive and inspiring people I've ever met. I had the opportunity to complete the Youth Empowerment Program last year as part of the 6th batch. It is a 2-month program held at Chinmaya Mangalam over the summer, and it was a totally immersive experience in the Chinmaya Mission way of life. I was not only able to learn more about the values that we have been learning for so many years, but I was able to live them along with everyone else there. Unfortunately, YEP had to be canceled this year because of COVID-19, but let's hope that it works out next year. If you have any questions about CHIC or about YEP, you can always reach out to me. Once again, congratulations to all the seniors and welcome to CHIC. Hari Om.
Now, the graduates will seek the blessings of the Lord and the Acharyas and can now offer their Guru Dakshina in front of their altar at home as a token of appreciation for the services provided by the Guru. Friends and family who would like to offer a contribution can do so through the link in the chat. As a gift to this year's graduates, Chinmaya Mission is also proud to offer a 1-year subscription to Mananam. The first issue is entitled I Am That I Am, Exploring the Identity Crisis. which will be released by Pujya Swami Swarupananda on August 2nd. And the second issue is called The Sages Speak About Immortality.
We would now like to give a big thank you to all of the Bala Vihar Sevaks and Sevikas who have guided these graduates ever since kindergarten to today. We appreciate all of your sacrifice and service for so many years to make us what we are today. Chinmaya Mission and our Bala Vihar program could not run without your dedication and diligence. Thank you.
And this now brings us to the conclusion of our Bala Vihar graduation. Thank you all for attending this graduation ceremony. With the blessings of Puji Gurudev, we wish our 2020 Bala Vihar graduates the best of luck in all of their future endeavors. Please join 3 of our graduates, Chinmay, Rohit, and Raju, for the concluding prayers and Aarti. Hari Om.
Veera Maruti Gambhira Maruti Dhira Maruti Ati Dhira Maruti Geeta Maruti Samgeeta Maruti Duta Maruti Rama Duta Maruti Bhakta Maruti Parama Bhakta Maruti Veera Maruti Gambhira Maruti Gambhira Maruti Gambhira Maruti Om Namaste Astu Bhagavan Vishveshwaraya Mahadevaya Trayambakaya Tripurantakaya Trikalagnikalaya Kalagnirudraya Neelakantaya Mrityunjayaya Sarveshwaraya Sadashivaya Shriman Mahadevaya Namaha Om Swasti Prajabhyah Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahisha Go Brahmanebhyah Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanyah Prithvi Shashashalini Deshoyam Kshobarahitaha Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhaved Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
We stand as one family, bound to each other with love and respect. We serve as an army, courageous and disciplined, ever ready to fight against all low tendencies and false values within and without us. We live honestly the noble life of sacrifice and service, producing more than what we consume and giving more than what we take. We seek the Lord's grace to keep us on the path of virtue, courage, and wisdom. May thy grace and blessings flow through us to the world around us. We believe that the service of our country is the service of the Lord of Lords, and the devotion to the people is the devotion to the Supreme Self. We know our responsibilities. Give us the ability and courage to fulfill them. Om Tat Sat.
आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की, दिव्य रूप मूर्ति करुणा की। आरती सद्गुरु की, चरणों में उनके शांति समाई, शरणागत की भ्रांति मिटाइए, पाप ताप संताप हरण की। आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की, आरती सद्गुरु की। वेद उपनिषद गीता गोकाया, धर्म सनातन फिर से जगाया, शुद्ध नीति प्रीति शंकर की। आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की, आरती सद्गुरु की। की तपोभूमि में नित्य विराजे गुरु हमारे, भक्त हृदय अनंत श्रोत की। आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की, आरती सद्गुरु की। आरती सद्गुरु की। ओम न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चंद्र तारकम, नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतो यमग्निः, तमेव भातमनुभाति सर्वं, तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति। ओम नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि, तन्नो विष्णु प्रचोदयात्। ओम महादेवे च विद्महे विष्णुपत्नी च धीमहि, तन्नो लक्ष्मी प्रचोदयात्।
अभिनन्दनम् अभिनन्दनम्, दीक्षान्तकाले अभिनन्दनम्. These are the blessings from Puji Guruji, Swami Tejamananji. Congratulations, all graduates 2020.
Thank you all for attending. Congratulations to all the 2020 graduates. Hari Om.
This concludes the program. Thank you.
अजं निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम.
गुणातीतमानं चिदानन्दरूपं चिदाभासकं सर्वगं ज्ञानगम्यं मुनिध्येयमाकाशरूपं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम.
जगत्कारणं कारणज्ञानरूपं सुरादिं सुखादिं गुणेशं गणेशं जगद्व्यापिनं विश्ववन्द्यं सुरेशं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम.
रजो योगतो ब्रह्मरूपं श्रुतिज्ञं सदा कार्यसक्तं हृदाचिन्त्यरूपं जगत्कारणं सर्वविद्यानिदानं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं नतास्मः. अजं निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम. योगिनं रुद्ररूपं त्रिनेत्रं जगद्धारकं तारकं ज्ञानहेतुम् अनेकागमै स्वं जनं बोधयन्तं सदा सर्वरूपं गणेशं नमामः निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम
जनाज्ञानाहारं त्रयीवेदसारं परब्रह्मसारं मुनिज्ञानकारं विदुरे विकारं सदा ब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं नमामः
जैरोषधि सर्पयन्तं करादिरसुरौघ्नकलाभिः सुधास्राविणीभिः दिनेशांशु सन्तापहारं द्विजेशं शशाङ्कस्वरूपं गणेशं नमामः
निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम
सत्स्वरूपं जगद्धेतुरूपं सदा विश्वरूपं गणेशं नतास्मः
त्वदीये मनस्तापयेदं हि युग्मे जनो